we analyze just what was the problem. Yes, we start making very positive moves to solve them. We fire the old set of managers we had working, and it's a new group we went and we bring in. And if the goods we require them new managers not supplying, when election time come back wrong, it's new ones we bring in. But if it's one thing about my people, I could guarantee that they would never ever put party before country. And the country facing is darkest hour, and our people need us today more than ever. But in our fight to recover, if ever you feel to surrender, we have one little thing that I want you always remember.
We can make it if we try. Just a little harder. If we give just one more try, life will be much sweeter. So Sunday, this Sunday coming, we are going to be announcing the first batch of Progressive Empowerment Party candidates for the general election. It is our intention to field 41 candidates in every constituency. And the Progressive Empowerment Party has been fighting this fight for almost 4 years. I personally have been out in the trenches as a social and political activist for over 2 decades. I have founded the wildly popular Jericho Project that has accomplished so much for so many. The orphans, the homeless, the disabled, a real activist group. And as a blogger and activist, I have written millions of words. And I just get in from Satish the YouTube link for those who get difficulty with the Facebook link for the live videos, and those of you who are not yet on the WhatsApp broadcast, in case anytime between now and elections or anytime ever there's a problem with the Facebook page, we have a YouTube page, we have a WhatsApp page, we even have an Instagram page, we have a TikTok following. The Progressive Empowerment Party, massive on social media. Yet, there are those who would cry us down, and there are those who would pretend that this is not the Messiah they're waiting on. So I want to know who else come in? Who else come in? Because as of now, the country, let me give you good news. Give you good news. The country ain't bust yet. That's the only good news I could give you under the PNM and the UNC. Now people will say, you don't have to tell me anymore about the PNM and the UNC, we know. And that's not true. That's not true. You need to be constantly reminded, because a lot of you do not pay attention, long-term attention to what's going on in the country. Better days are coming. If you vote the Progressive Empowerment Party into office, we have promised home ownership for all. Other political parties promise similar items. But the difference between the Progressive Empowerment Party and the others is that we don't take for granted that you don't dig deep. We dig deep for you. We read and spell for you. So that our policies are very well explained. Today, I think we ordered 50,000 more brochures just in time for the elections. And that is because of all of the good people in Trinidad and Tobago. We actually have printries that contacted us and volunteered to print our brochures for us. Imagine that. And I want to name them and I can't. I can't even thank them publicly out of fear. They have fear of victimization. So everybody is trying to help the Progressive Empowerment Party under law until after elections. Because if we win, they'll be able to step out and say, we did this and we did that. But while there's a PNM government, and the UNC too, because you remember when Jack Warner and them was telling people, if you have vote for we Gypsy, I tell people that. Remember Gypsy? Remember when Gypsy tell people, if all you have vote for we, all you have to get? as if government belonged to one political party, or if it could. There's a Progressive Empowerment Party fundraiser. Dion Andrews, I want you to try and send me back the WhatsApp, and I want the image to come vertical if it is read horizontal. I want it to come horizontal if it reads vertical, because I'm twisting the phone all out and I can't get to read it. Somebody sent me a picture of a badge, and I'm gonna make these badges to give away. Help, I'm trapped on an island run by mad people. In fact, $500 million later, this electoral term of the PNM and the UNC has cost us $500 million in salaries alone. $500 million. $500 million in salaries and perks for a government and an opposition. Look around. And in the 5 years, other than the removal of rights and liberties, other than that, enriching their friends, the government especially, other than that, what else happened? What else happened? The people in the country not taking PNM and UNC on again. The East-West corridor chasing people. The East-West corridor chasing candidates from the PNM and the UNC. They don't see you. They are coming the same way still. I want to show you what I get on my phone, Dion. See that? I can't read that, because if I turn the phone sideways, it'll turn again. So you gotta find a way to send it to me so that I can read the information to the public. We have built a larger, as I promised last year, PEP Media Studio. Thankful to all of the members who contributed towards that, but especially the tireless work of Satish Ramsaran and the sacrifice of his family, who allows him to give so much of his time to this movement. Thank you very much to Satish's wife and kids and mom. We hardly ever remember to tell Felicia's mom, you know, since Felicia joined the Progressive Empowerment Party, you don't get to see your daughter again because we have her busy. Thank you, Dion. There is a PEP, Progressive Empowerment Party, 4th annual barbecue fundraiser. Every year we have a barbecue, and for the last 3 years we had it at the Stanmore office. This year we're having it at the Barataria office, that is 24 10th Avenue, Barataria. It is Saturday, August 22nd, 2020. Every year we sell out our 1,000 tickets. This year, this is such an important year, we don't expect it to be any different. For tickets, if you want to take numbers, I am sure Hadassah or Debbie Lee or even Dion Andrews himself, who sent me, Dion is part of the PEP finance team responsible for fundraising. So I'm sure Dion will put these numbers in the thread for you to see. But for tickets, you can call 309-5105 in the north, or 759-3713 in the east, or 752-1676 in central, or 730-5731. The most important number to remember is 682-2110, or my WhatsApp. WhatsApp me and I forward it to everybody. You can private message me, those who want to buy 10 tickets, those who want to buy 50 tickets, those of you who contact me every year to buy the bulk tickets that we use to give the barbecue to the homeless in Port of Spain. So you literally solve 2 problems with 1 spend. The menu is chicken and 2 sides, all meats halal, social distancing in effect, no mask, no service. Somebody sent me a thing that I agree, boy. He said, the same bank that 6 months ago wouldn't let me in with a hat, now they're not letting me in without a mask. This barbecue is on Saturday, August the 22nd. Of course, I will be there. Hopefully, they will have karaoke again so I can serenade you with my smooth sounding voice. 24 10th Avenue, Barataria, that's the main road opposite Maritime Plaza. And it's Saturday, August 22nd, 2020. It's from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Normally, we would have all 4s and lime and all kind of drama in the morning and 6 in the evening. Coronavirus can't do much, you know, but from 6:01, watch yourself outside there, right, to pounce. And to go in Chanka's Vegetable Mart, today I made a video, to go in Chanka's Vegetable Mart, to go in Adam's Bagels, to go in Linda's, to go in Bag One Sings Hardware, to go in just Super Farm. You had to wash your hand or you had to sanitize your hand. But to go in Long Circular Mall and Westmall don't need them thing because coronavirus does not shop in malls for some reason. It likes to be out in the small businesses. I don't understand that though, because even Fox News today had to admit that hot sun kills the coronavirus in half an hour. Kills it dead. But in Trinidad, the reverse is true, that you could get coronavirus on the beach, but you can't get it in a line in KFC or Subway, which is very strange. But we have a different type of coronavirus here. As people remembering to say thank you to Satish. I also want to talk to Sean Sunarayan, Michelle Davis, Shari Wilson, and the rest of the mobilization crew, all the hub leaders, Maurice Downs, Matthew Gibbs, Akil Camps, and well, Michelle, who's doing human service down in South as well, for coordinating and organizing the walkabouts, all that's happening all at the same time, all through the country, while we preparing our candidates. For this whole week, we had something called candidate prep, and we made sure that all our candidates are on the same page and that they're ready with their presentation, so that when you meet them, you will see that the Progressive Empowerment Party does everything professionally. And it is our intention to do it professionally on this side of the election and on that side of the election also. Now, all of this serves a purpose. It serves a purpose because to rescue the country, we need all hands on deck. And that's not going to change. We're going to need all votes. And we're going to need you angry enough to vote, because the people who don't think anything wrong, I don't think they vote in. Celia Thompson says all stores in City Mall have sanitizers. I'm willing to bet to that. Satish has a beautiful family. Glenn Robinson, another tireless soul there. He is our mobilization man in Tobago. He has taken responsibility for the sister island, and he's also in between Trinidad and Tobago. So he's here to help when he is in Trinidad, and when he's in Tobago, he works there. Somebody say, I'm not going to any malls, I support the street hustlers. Today I went by Colors, which is run by Andrea and Colin Burkett. They used to be on that street in Woodbrook that leads you up between Picton and Woodford Street, and I can't remember the name of that street right now, but they used to be on that street, and then they moved to One Woodbrook Place, but the madness of One Woodbrook Place shut them down. One Woodbrook Place is run by people who want to compete with Arapita Avenue and Western Main Road. One Woodbrook Place has become pretty much a bar district. So if you're living upstairs, One Woodbrook Place, you're living over a bar. But all the fine restaurants and the decent restaurants have had to close. And Colors, Colin Burkett is a master chef. If you've never tasted Colin Burkett's fried kingfish, I'm going to tell you the number. So you could WhatsApp them. And you could tell Andrea or Colin, just tell them when you message them that it is Gattaca Street. Paul Farnham just remind me Gattaca Street. When you message them, there are some people on this chair. I want to tell you something. Paul, Gavin Franco. There are people who I can't make David Anganon. I can't make a note outside of correct, because they correct me one time. I want to find Burkett number, because I want to tell you, if you go and eat this and it's not the best fried fish you ever eaten in your life, because what they do now, because they operate out of a kitchen by a bar in St. James, and you can eat there, or it's curbside pickup. I go and pick up curbside every day, because they sent me the message of the menu for tomorrow, and I done order mine for tomorrow. The menu tomorrow is 2 chickens, 2 kingfish, sauteed cassava, corn rice, red beans, callaloo with and without pigtail, coleslaw. And it's them that give me the mother-in-law with the karaili that I blow up on Facebook. Today, when I went to get my lunch, I got mother-in-law suspiciously without any karaili. It had mango in it, and oh my God, that tastes good. But plenty of the Trinbagonians, and all you know all yourself, don't come on the chair and while up. I know and I hear all you, and I conceded. Plenty Trinidadians wild up themselves about, oh, it's not mother-in-law without the bitterness of Karaili. I hear you. Mother-in-law supposed to be bitter, they say. So, and I enjoy the Karaili, don't get me wrong. Plenty of people send suggestions, chip up the Karaili, finer, that's all right. It's one of those things that I really don't like, you know. I don't really like Karaili. As a fella, I eat anything. Somebody used to say I eat anything but thing to drink. But Karaili is one of those things that I don't know, boy. I think God was vexed when he made Karaili. Colin and Andrea Burkett, save this in your WhatsApp. Send them a message to 7263030 and tell them, please add me to the WhatsApp list if you're in Port of Spain, because you have, can we say I get the sister-in-law, alright? But if you're around, because you had to go and do curbside pickup, or you can eat there now since they relaxed COVID-19 some more, so you could go and you could eat there too. But just today, because me and 3 of my workers, because once they send me a message and say what's the lunch, I order about 4, sometimes I order 8 for the parents and thing. My sisters are real, she love their food too, so if it's happening, she's telling me, if you're going by colors, bring food for me. But Colin Burkett is a master chef. And again, Colin is so talented. So today, what they gave us was cassava and sweet potato salad, which is like a potato salad without potato, and the thing was amazing. With the mother-in-law, the sister-in-law, it had fried kingfish. But you know a Stereotex box, when you open the box? You know you open the box? They give you, it's $60 when it's fish, $50 when it's beef and chicken and thing. $60 when it's fish. But hear me when I'm telling you here now. For my $60, when you open the box, the slice of fried kingfish you get is so big, it's covered the whole box of food. You can't see nothing below it. You have to fight fish to get that rice and lentil peas and callaloo and salad and thing. They're that good. Let me tell you, I don't understand the country I live in where you can open 138 fries and cardboard burger that you have to drown in ketchup, mustard and pepper for it to even taste something like food. And that you could get finance for. You could open a million fried chicken, but colors, he catch and he tail to get the finance he need. That nobody has gone to Colin Burkett and said, I will finance you and I will set you up in a business. Let's talk. They must have some angel outside there, some financial. Because I tell you something, you'll get a return on your investment. The boy, brilliant. And I tell everybody all the time, I won't be meat fried fish home anymore. Once Colin frying fish, that's the best fish in the world. The best fried kingfish. And I know I'm giving them a long plug, because somebody just said on the wall that they prefer to eat from small businesses or to shop at small businesses, and so do I. You will never see me in a KFC unless I go to buy food for somebody else. I will never shop there in life. I think that stores like KFC, Burger King, McDonald's, Subway, and Subway is not healthy food. Eat fresh my ass. Subway has the worst tasting bread I have ever eaten in my life. And every single item that Subway is putting in those sandwiches, all of those meats, they contain something called sodium nitrites. The preservatives that they use to preserve all of those meats, because none of the roast beef and none of those things are fresh. They're all processed meats, which means they break down all of the unsellable parts of beef into a kind of paste, and then extrude it into the shape of a ham and then slice it. And this make up all the fat lines and things to fool you, you know, so that you think that you're buying roast beef. But you're not buying roast beef, you're buying beef and filler. But all of that, to preserve that, to make that last, they have something in it called sodium nitrites. And sodium nitrites destroys, hear me, destroys your cardiovascular system. And when you're young, you can do whatever you want. But as you get older, the more you damage the chromosomes in your body and the telomeres that keeps the chromosomes functioning and able to fix this and fix that when you're damaging them. There comes a time when the chromosomes are no longer functional because of abuse. Things like sodium nitrites that you eat so much of and destroy it. And then all of a sudden you get a sickness and you don't know why. Because medicine, modern medicine, doesn't do anything for anybody. Outside of painkillers, modern medicine can't fix nothing. Inside your body, there are chromosomes who have a responsibility to fix every single thing that go wrong with your body, but they damage over time. And when they die, when they could no longer function, the thing that they're responsible for could get sick, could get an illness, could get a disease, and die. William Nightingale says he is vegan. To be honest with you, I could be vegan, I could eat anything. That is not a problem for me. But all I'm trying to say is, restaurants like Subway, KFC, Royal Castle, McDonald's, Burger King, those fast food stores, they kill you. That's what they do. They get you sick. They are not good for you. Trinidad has the highest heart disease in the Western world. Trinidad is in a bad way. Bad way. The amount of soft drinks we drink, and you think that it is convenient, and it's not. It's cold and it's in a fridge. Listen, it's not convenient. They put 5 tablespoons of sugar in a bottle of Coca-Cola or a Solo Red Solo, and when you put that much sugar in your body has to fight it. Your body has to inject chemicals into your system to tamper that poison down, and it overworks your system. You know, anybody tell you all yet? Coronavirus, what kills you is not the virus, you know. What kills you, what makes coronavirus so deadly, is it triggers a storm response in your body. It triggers a storm response in your body, and it is your body's overreaction to that virus that kills you. Believe it or not, you're drowning on your own cells. Crazy, eh? But the point I want to tell you is this. Besides the fact that those restaurants killing people, because Trinidadians of African descent are the largest cross-section of people who eat KFC, and Trinidadians of African descent are the people most likely to die at an early age of heart disease. Kendall Baggy asked me, what about guava cheese? Partner, you call my name and my shoe size there. But those restaurants in your economy also destroys the economy, and it destroys your ability. You could be a master chef and you go to set up, but you can't compete with the kind of deals these people make, and people going out there to buy barely food. And you know, I am properly happy to support Sharon Sajudeen when I have to drive all the way to Santa Cruz to buy roti from Roti Cafe in Santa Cruz. I am more than happy to go there. When I have to drive all the way to Chaguanas to buy bakery stuff from Michelle Sohan at Bakery Treats, I am more than happy to make the drive, because they represent the hope of a better country. KFC and Royal Castle and Church's Chicken and Pizza Boys, all of this, not good for you. Not good for you at all. Not good for you at all. I stopped drinking coffee now because you can't get a good cup of coffee to buy outside there. All they have is this Starbucks nonsense and rituals and all that foolishness. Now I drinking tea. Somebody say Edo's now is $13 a pound. I think it's where you're buying it to. Closer to the tree, the better for me, but closer to the farm, the better for my dollar. Somebody says need to make you lunch whenever you're in Arima. Ricky, that's not the way to phrase that sentence. Come to Arima for food, send us the date, and we come in. But anybody, if you're in a small business, and I'm saying this again, I've done this for all the years I've had a social media following. If you have a small business and you're doing good business and good business for people, and all these people you hear me plug, I will never go by them for a free box of food. I will never negotiate with them. It's not because people call me and say, hey boy Phil, come and eat by we and plug we, you know. I will never do that. What I do is, once somebody is doing a good service and I could put my name behind it, I given you the link up. I would love in my lifetime to see Sharon Sajudeen family in Roti Cafe in Santa Cruz, open a branch in Port of Spain, and then a branch in San Fernando, and a branch in Chaguanas, and a branch in Tobago. I would like to see. My cousin was the person who opened El Pecos, and they're struggling along, fighting alongside all of the big chains, but El Pecos actually started to put themselves out there where local food could have competed with all of this foreign nonsense. KFC is an excitotoxin in the food. When they tell you about Colonel Sanders' secret recipe, it's a drug that Colonel Sanders put in KFC that gets you high. It's called monosodium glutamate. Glenn Robinson and I come in a Rima, Mr. Gentleman, so start the pot one time. Start the pot one time. But anybody who have a small business and you want to get our plug, you message me. You message me. Yeah? Because I will definitely come and I will try your food. And if your food good, I will give you the advertising for free. I don't want nothing. Nothing at all. I like knowing that there are people all over this world that tell people, I went for a roti in Santa Cruz. I come to Trinidad. This boy, Dean Shepherd, land in Trinidad. He said we're going for a roti. What people do that? You know how much times I go to Roti Cafe and bounce up foreigners, and I just go on to get my roti and I bounce up foreigners and they say, you are the man, you are the reason we're here. And I like that. I like that. And people say, boy, we really enjoy that. MSG is madness. A madness for your system. I stop eating Sunshine Snacks. Sunshine Snacks start putting MSG in the system, in their snacks. So I stop eating that. I used to like, believe it or not, and I wear it like this. I would eat a pack of cheesies and a Malta. And I love that contrast between the salt and the sweet. And that's a good snack to me. But I can't eat Sunshine Snacks anymore, or I take holiday foods either, because of monosodium glutamate. I can't eat those things, I get a headache. But Planters, and they have another brand, just like Planters, could never remember the name, but in the same blue canister with the same yellow lid, right next to Planters, selling cheesies and cheese balls on the shelf. Kami, you're telling me Vetsen is MSG? Maggi seasoning is MSG. Maggi soup is MSG. Anything Nestle selling like that, I can't eat. I can't eat it at all. I can't eat MSG. And that's what Maggi seasoning is, that drug that they put in KFC to hook you. It's called an excitotoxin. It gives your brain a feeling and you think you're enjoying the meal. Crazy, eh? Chemical warfare, they call that. MSG is poison. Yep. MSG is poison. I was saying something else, yes, and I forget where I was going. But you have a responsibility too. You have a responsibility to make sure, seek out. I was driving up Diego Martin Main Road the other day to go by my mother, and they had this little supermart. That's what they call themselves. Supermart, right after La Puerta, and they closed down. They didn't survive COVID-19. And there was a little mini mart, and they had some ladies in that kitchen, boy. I'm telling you something, eh? This may be very stereotyping, but nobody could make a stew like a real black woman. Nobody can make a stew. And I'm telling you something, that kitchen, wow. But when you see a pass there and they make an oil down or oxtail, when you get oxtail and restaurants, no way. I stop at none. I can't go Hacker. Hacker is pure MSG. These businesses are hooking you with, again, it's a drug, excitotoxin. Many small businesses succumb to COVID-19, that's true. And I'm hoping that a lot of them just press pause. I'm hoping that they come back out somewhere. And my number is 682-2110. You could WhatsApp me, I'll give you the plug. And if ever I'm in a position to help Colin and Andrea Burkett get back on their feet with their own place, I'm doing it. Because I think they're good people, and he's a real good chef. And they're kind of millionaires. This is what I don't understand, you know. Alright, let's not get carried away. This is what I don't understand. When all these people that go there to eat, and they're not helping the man. Good night, Philip. When are you going to have another live session with question and answer? We could do that right now. We could do that right now. If anybody have any questions you would like to ask, feel free. Yeah? I think Trevor needs to be added to the broadcast list so he will know when these things are happening. If anybody have any questions to ask, this is the kind of video for that, you know. Ask your questions. But the better day that we want for this country is going to happen if we vote for it. It's going to happen when we vote for it. I want to tell you something. A progressive empowerment party government, there will be no more mega contractors. No more Junior Sami and Calco and Kusals and no more overnight mega contractors, no more. That under a progressive empowerment party government, in each constituency, to do work in that constituency, you have to be a company registered in the constituency. Understand that? That the workers must come from that constituency, not foreign youths, not Venezuelans, not Chinese, not anybody else. The people that live in that constituency, once it's government work, yes, we will help people from all over the world, but right now and always it will be that we have a responsibility of our people first. And this person, Asai Green Foods Aquaponics, anybody that want to ask me a question, you have to message it to 682-2110, or you could private message it on Facebook. But if you add it, if you ask it on the live video thread, I won't see it if it's longer than 4 lines, because that gets lost quickly. And I don't have time to slow down the video. So anybody want to ask questions, you could private message me. And you know what you all did last time? You all waited until after the show, and I still get a message 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning, asking me questions. If you want it answered on air, ask me now. I'd like to know, under the PEP, what are the plans for reducing high fuel prices and also taxes that have been implemented in the last 5 years under the PNM regime? But first of all, I want to tell you something. I cannot think of anything that was done under the current government that is of any value to this country. And I think that the fastest way to get us to a place that is a good restart is to roll back everything that Keith Rowley and Faris Arawi and Stuart Young and Carl Membert has done. That ridiculous tax on couriers, that tax for importing stuff, for you to shop on Amazon and stuff, that tax, that's gone. From the first day in office, we repealed that tax. I mean, a lot of these taxes, even these demerit points and all these big fines they have right now, they're literally trying to run the country from inside the people's pockets. All that gone. All of it gone. All of it gone. A real government would operate Trinidad and Tobago to make its funds and make its money. But we live in a country where more than half of the budget is actually theft money. It's padded with money for friends and financiers to steal. All that done. Under a progressive empowerment party government, there are plenty chains that will close down, you know. Under a progressive empowerment party government, there are plenty mega businesses that don't make sense will close down. But you will see a mushrooming of all the people that work for those megas, that make those megas mega millionaires and mega billionaires. Well, all of those megas, because to form a contracting firm in this company, all you have to do is get contracts, you know, and call out people who own trucks and stick your sticker on their door. It's not your trucks, but it's saying like it's your trucks. Those people shouldn't have to have the smallest piece of the pie because you get the contract. We must make sure that in the 41 constituencies in Trinidad and Tobago, for you to do work, so Junior Sammy could pick a constituency. If you want to work in Valsade, all the projects in Valsade, you could bid on it. If Calco want to operate in Goodwood Park, they go Martin West, all of the contracts that are being given out to the public, you could compete for it. You could bid for it. That doesn't mean you're going to get it. We're going to make sure that contracts are awarded transparently and that the details of all contracts will be published. All will be published in the Gazette. So if you know that a bridge is being built in your community and you want to know how much the contract is for, you could go online to the National Gazette and you will pull up the contract, just search it, 5th Street Bridge, and you will see all of the details, the contract packages, who bid for it, how much they bid for it, who it was awarded to, and why. We will say that we gave it to JSM Contracting because JSM, while their bid is a couple $100,000 higher than the next 2 bids, there is a reason that we believe that they bring different skill sets and that kind of stuff. You need to have explanations because right now there's something going on in the country where one of these Chinese mega firms underbid everybody by about $50 million and already padding the bill with $20 million. 1 month in, they just mark the ground, they didn't dig a foundation yet. They're asking for $20 million in overruns, and that's how the game is played. So you approve Napa for $120 million, and then by the time it's done, it's $567 million cost overruns. And you approve Taruba Stadium for $100 million, and it become $1 billion, $1.2 billion. So if you want a country where these things no longer happen, somebody says, I read it as they said. Somebody says they cater to tourists and bottom line, they provide employment and stimulate the economy. I want to tell Janet who sent me that message, that's not true. What they do is they actually block the average person from playing in our own economy. And it must be that you level the play field. Because these fast foods have economies of scale, and they could say they're selling a 40-foot container of chicken a weekend, you have to levy a tax. That is why legislation and taxation exists worldwide. World Trade Organization rules allows you to prevent people dumping in your market, and they have rules to prevent people leveraging size against emerging economies. And Trinidad and Tobago has to protect its people. I've always said that. We have to make sure that Häagen-Dazs could sell here, but small mom and pop's ice cream could sell here too. And the only way to protect small ice cream players is if you go to Massy stores, and Massy stores disproportionately give space to big players who give Massy stores lump sum funds called advertising and promotion, which is a way to bypass World Trade Organization rules. But I understand this from my experience in marketing, and I know that. So in exchange, the government could subsidize advertising and promotion or you could legislate equal space, 50% equal space. So chuck all the Ben & Jerry's and all the Häagen-Dazs in one freezer, and if you want to sell 20 freezer, you have to have 20 freezer that are available. I'm not saying it have to be that you have to wait on them, but it have to be available to locals. Because if a local come in to sell you and they have 50 running feet of foreign products and they can't get a space, then that is wrong. That is wrong. And when you go in Hilo, Massy, True Value, JTA, when you go in those stores, you see whole aisles and gondola ends packed up with M&Ms and caramel and all kind of thing. And then the kurma and the tolon people chuck up in a little basket underneath the cash register in the dark. You notice how that shelf is always the darkest shelf? It's like it's almost deliberate. It's almost deliberate because the other shelf's bright. They're bright. And where the local people making the little fudge and they get inside, you say give them a blind, but the blind you're giving them is not a real blind because they don't have side-by-side shelf space and they don't have equal opportunity to sell. And for some reason, you're pricing them above their competitors. All of that is going to rob them of an opportunity. All that's going to rob them of an opportunity. But taxation and legislation is for that. And a proper government would have done that a long time ago. What about drunk driving, enforced speed times and reckless driving? Absolutely. Those laws exist, it's just to enforce them. Will there be any safeguards for free and fair elections? Hopefully. We have called on PEP team leaders in our foreign chapters to reach out to those people that come and give supervision of elections, and hopefully if the airport is open, but we will have in every polling station, we will have a PEP volunteer there with pen and paper counting every single person that come in to vote for the day. So if 931 people vote, and when they open the box, they have 988 votes. That means the box was padded before we started to vote. And somebody will have to explain how that came to be. Yeah? What can we as a country really do to get you as PM? I believe PEP can make a difference. First of all, thank you very much for your beautiful sentiment. I want to tell you that the best thing that you can do is share these live videos, tell everybody about the Progressive Empowerment Party, learn our policies, reach out to members and see what you could learn and get yourself informed so that come election day you can mobilize people, tell your family and friends are coming to pick you up 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock. When you finish work, are coming to get you. If you take your time off, you organize a line, you and all your friends going to vote same time. You could make all of that happen. Yeah. Somebody asked, when are we coming to Canada? That might be after the elections. My question, since Patrick Manning first 5 years term in government, they had put a 5%, we had asked that earlier, about that road tax. We need an accounting of where that road tax gone. Would PEP allow overseas voting? Absolutely. We're supposed to have the ability to go to the closest embassy and register your vote as a citizen of the country. Dual citizenship. If you have a citizenship of Trinidad and a citizenship of another country, we should respect all your rights as a citizen. Because having dual citizenship doesn't mean you have less citizenship. You are still a citizen. You also have citizenship of another country. But that doesn't rob you of any percentage of your citizenship. You're supposed to be able to represent this country at any level you want. Yeah? I pray to this universe that the election is fair. More than that, I want to tell you all something. Sunday coming, we are announcing our candidates. The cost of our broadcast is just under $40,000. And anybody watching this who would like to help, if 40 people give us $1,000, it helps cover that. Now, we pay the bill. Don't get me wrong. The Progressive Empowerment Party works very hard. We announced just now. We just had a barrel sale 2 weeks ago. We have members who constantly working, especially Joan and Anthony Senan and their crew in Canada. And I wish Joan and Anthony could publish on this thread right now all the names of all the Canada people. Or if you could WhatsApp it to me so I could read it. Denise Xavier as well in New York and her team. Rose Fongchang and Sals Jagasa in Miami. These people all work so hard to keep things coming at the best that they could, in the best way that they could, to keep us being able to fundraise. So I'm saying, we've paid that bill to broadcast. We are broadcasting our first candidate launch on Sunday night at 8 p.m. prime time on TV6. Somebody, Trini Flavor, asked if the announcement will be live and what time. Yes, Sunday at 8 p.m. So tune in on TV6. It will also be on Gael. I don't know if it will be on Gael Sunday night. The manager of Synergy told one of our supporters that if Mr. Chinley, who is the owner of Synergy, is okay with what we broadcast on TV6 and it doesn't damage the PNM too much possibly, they will rebroadcast it on Synergy. Thank you, Mr. O'Brien Haynes. Much appreciated. Your big step up for democracy, bro. I hope Satan's pitchfork don't hurt you too bad when he jam you. Keep making big steps, partner. It's people like you, when you sit down by the doctor and you say, boy, Obi, a partner of mine dead. Give you a story. A partner of mine swear to me, PNM is the best thing in the world. PNM is the best thing. You swear. You don't know what you're talking about, Phillip. 20 years of argument. That man, he ran out of money because his father got sick. He was a wealthy man. And he spent a lot of money keeping his father alive. When his father finally died, he got sick. And he got sick and he had nothing. His house was mortgaged, his business was under stress, and he ended up on a piss-soaked mattress in the General Hospital. And when he was on his way out, he sent a message for me. And he said, don't stop. Don't stop, Phillip. He said, don't stop. They don't know. I didn't know. Don't stop. It's people like you. They've hidden it. They had me fooled. I was stupid. Don't stop. And you see, in certain jurisdictions, a dying man's statement stands up in court. Because you have nothing to gain or to lose. Nothing. They call it a dying what? A dying testimony. A dying person's testimony is upheld as fact in court because you can't gain from it. Can't gain. Just said, Phillip, don't stop. He died. And Obi, you and people like you At some point in time, just have to watch straight into the beast. I tell you, I know people who sit down on the side of the road and with broken bones. People message me and tell me, I in the hospital, brother. I hear hours with my family. My mother outside with her eye, with the dilate the woman, it's called when they dilate your eyes and they can't find the lenses. Say, brother, let me tell you something. This morning I was P&M, this evening I was PAP. And that's why I come up with this thing when the wolf reach your door. When the wolf reach your door, boss man. When I tell stories, people tell me, he said, boss man, they're trying to break the wrought iron outside. I am telling the police that on the phone. The police telling me they don't have a car. People stood up, holding wrought iron, mother, father, and child, and burned to death because the fire station didn't have a fire truck. I stood up on the side of the road and filmed a woman as citizens, normal everyday citizens, line up and administer CPR to this woman, trying to keep her alive because they couldn't find an ambulance to reach 4 roads. 4 roads. She died. She died. Plenty people that has walked big steps, back up, swinging, everything swinging, chain hanging low. You see, here's a baddest. I mean, my neighbor boy. I think God keeps showing me these things so I don't forget. I had a neighbor, wealthy guy, and he was a nice guy. I mean, strong in his ways, and he wanted his way to always carry. And he was strong about where you could, on the compound where I was living, where you could park and where your door could do. Went away. While he was away, went for a checkup. Wasn't feeling well. Cancer, boy. Sit down. How bad? It's bad. When you hear those words, reality falls through the floor. Because all of a sudden, you're a drowning man in your own head. Because there's nothing you could do. When Carlos Sabga got that story, he could have possibly put $100 million on the table for that doctor. Save me! Money can't save you. If you put 100 trillion, I can't save you. The doctor tell the neighbor, it metastasized to the bone. We can't cut out the cancer. We had to cut out your skeleton to cut out the cancer. In 3 days, his kidneys was dead. His system, his entire system was collapsing. His sister told me, she said he shrunk to almost a little baby. And he was begging her to just put ice in his mouth. He wasn't even allowed water because he no longer had kidneys. And as he anything liquid, have him pissing out all his blood. And he died. He died. When he was gone for a week, and when he came back, we was going to have a conversation. We was going to have, thank you, Will Lamyong, for the first $1,000. Please, 769-4590. Please reach out to Felicia Holder and let her know that you made that donation. Mr. Lamyong, you have my eternal respect. Let me tag Miss Holder to let her know that this is happening. Or anybody on the live right now, Dion, Debbie Lee, Hadassah, anybody, call Felicia Holder, please, because I feel that we're going to raise the money to pay for this broadcast tonight. But I didn't know we were going to go down this road because I think many videos, better days are coming. But people need to understand. People need to understand. They need to understand right now. Yeah. Trini Flavor says, my friends and family abroad. Hadassah, could you reach out to this person, Trini Flavor, and answer all their questions? We will be live on Facebook, on all the pep pages, on YouTube, on TV6. You must be able to find us anywhere in the world where you are. Hadassah Charles McLeod is on the thread. Felicia Holder, Wayne Yamlam, Lam Young just committed the first $1,000 to the $40,000 that I'm trying to raise for the broadcast. So if you could reach out to him, he's on this trail. He didn't say that much long ago. And it's easy. Trinidad and Tobago asked me, Phillip Alexander, how what? How what? We will be on social media. Satish Ramsaran, please give them the information. We will be on social media. Anthony Senanan, if you could, please, my brother, because I don't get to read the whole. We're chasing a $40,000 total. And again, if we get 40 people give us $1,000, well, 39 now, because Wayne Lam Young just gave us the first 1,000. 39 now. If you could, 400 people had to give us $100. 40 people have to give us $1,000. Yeah, that's what we need. 40 people have to give us $1,000. 400 people have to give us $100. $500, 200 people. What will that give us now? How much people we need to give us $500? 80 people? Yeah, 80 people have to give us $500. Good night, everybody. Okay, let's read some of these questions while we're waiting on donations. Maybe we could turn this into a little telethon. Anybody, if you want to donate $100, you could publish it here. You could message me on 682-2110. You could message Felicia Holder 769-4590. You could tag Sal's in Florida, Anthony Sinanan in Canada, Denise Xavier in New York. Hadassah Charles McLeod is doing yeoman service on the live right now. So this is what's David, I can't read this onto the video. What are your thoughts on a universal healthcare system like OHIP in Toronto? Everybody's asking how folks will be able to see it live on Facebook or WhatsApp. I will share the links on WhatsApp. It is available on YouTube and social media. And so with regards to universal healthcare, the Progressive Empowerment Party advocates for the creation of 41, one in each constituency, healthcare centers operated by nurse practitioners, run 24/7. A nurse practitioner is higher than a nurse, lower than a doctor. We have doctors on call, so it's not a massive medical bill. So we have doctors on call, so that because nurse practitioners can handle just about anything that takes you to an emergency room. Anything that needs to get more than that, they have doctors on call that they could get on the phone for guidance. They could get on WhatsApp. They could get on FaceTime video and explain to them, Zoom, we have this and we're dealing with this. And in situations where the doctor have to come in, they will come right in and take and handle it. Yeah. What's the cost breakdown? Facebook charges 40K. No, it's not Facebook. We're on TV6. Facebook is free. We're on TV6 also. For the people keep telling us, go on traditional media, take it to traditional media. Well, the presentation of candidates, we're making sure nobody could say they didn't get a chance to see, because we're going on traditional media, TV6 and Gael, and depending on how O'Brien Haynes and Howard Chinley feel after they see it, if they feel, yeah, Phil was nice to us there, he didn't really jam our massa on them too hard, let me give him a free broadcast. Obi, don't do me no favors, brother. Call me name when Satan pull out that pitchfork. Shh. We were waiting for you, Obi. Because you see, Synergy TV set up to teach young black males to be thugs and young black females to be hoes. That's what it started with. Passa and wind back and fight back and all the violence. Synergy TV. Transform yourself now. Become something that leads people to a fully functional life. How about that? Use the media license for that. The national media license. But I don't watch that station at all. So whether O'Brien Haynes helps or not, the last good thing they have is Stefan Reese. Stop by us, Logan and Marsha and Morvan, 1A Laurier Street. And I get that from Marsha Francis. I feel that is a good plate of food. I come in. Will a price control system be enforced? No. I don't believe in that. A free market economy. We want a free market economy, but what we want is people to be able to function in a free market. $100 from Trinidad Margot. Thank you, Trinidad Margot. Please reach out to Felicia Holder. Are you concerned with other political parties stealing your ideas and policies and posting it publicly? They do it all the time. They do it all the time, but people call them out and some of them feel real bad after because people say, hey, pump your brakes, she was in government already, Kamala. How come you didn't know that then? You know it now because you hear it from Pep. Anybody who would like to help us, we really need your assistance because the more we take this outside there, and yes, I know it comes across like people supposed to come and cuff you in your face and say, if Phillip broadcasts, if we like it, we'll give her broadcast. Like my constitutional rights don't matter. Like my constitutional rights. I want to tell you the rights of a citizen. My constitutional rights and the rights of all 140,000 members of the Progressive Empowerment Party. We don't matter. We don't matter because you get to do what you want. Then you get to say what you want with your broadcasting on a license that belongs to me. It belongs to me. When the Progressive Empowerment Party gets in the government, we'll fix that. We'll fix that. I told somebody today, you don't have to do nothing to push over Guardian and Express and Newsday, you know. You don't push them over. They've fallen already. The only thing holding them up is treasury dollars. My money and your money being used against me and you. So all we have to do when we get into government is suspend all advertising on those private media. Let me see how big, all of them who so gangster, working so hard, blocking people, and we will pass an equal time law. In politics, equal time. These are the rights enshrined. And all these media houses, you see, lawyers will tell you, Phillip, it's a lot of money, son. It's a lot of money. I mean, good lawyers. It's a lot of money to fight this. And as much as we want to fight it, it's a lot of money. It is hereby recognized and declared that in Trinidad and Tobago they have existed and shall continue to exist